guys, welcome to Annie and Asen. In today's vlog, I will be taking you through on a step-by-step process on how to make chapatis, specifically carrot chapatis. Well, some of you might be asking, what is chapati? Chapati is basically a flatbread which you make out of flour, oil. Some people do like putting water, or some people do substitute water and put milk instead. And for me, I do use very simple ingredients. I take the carrots which have already been boiled for around 15 to 20 minutes, and I puree them into a very soft consistency, meaning that I pretty much use the water from the carrots, and then I mix up with oil, which is what I have here. I do have oil. So for the purposes of cooking chapati, I do use sunflower oil. The reason as to why I use sunflower oil is because I find that it smokes less compared to olive oil. I also do have salt, so you can choose whatever amount of salt that's suitable for you. For me, I always go for either a quarter teaspoon or a half a teaspoon, depending on how much I want the salt to taste in my chapati. Some people do add sugar, which is okay, depending again on your taste buds, what kind of taste you're looking out for in your chapati. So I do use the organic flour. So a lot of people might prefer different kinds of flour. Some people do use organic, some people do use non-organic. That's okay. It all depends again on the kind of flour that you prefer for your cooking. So normally I use around 2 cups of flour to mix with the pureed carrots, and then I mix them up and form a dough, knead the dough, and then let it rest for around 15 to 20 minutes, after which now I roll it out into little chapatis and then pretty much cook it. And in today's video, I will be cooking shrimp sauce as well to go with my chapati. So my husband and I were huge fans of either white Pacific shrimp or the black Pacific shrimp. Again, for the chapati, you can either use shrimp, you can use beef, you can use lentil. Depending on the sauce that you prefer, you can pretty much mix up chapati with any sauce. So let's go on, guys, and start with making chapati. So that's how our carrot mixture looks like after you puree it. It's gonna be a very soft consistency, and that's okay. And then the next thing now is to add the salt. So for today, I will be using half a teaspoon of salt. And for me, I do cook with sea salt for no particular reason. You can use any other kind of salt that's available to you. So I put half a tablespoon of salt, and that's the only amount that I need for my chapati. Again, you can add as much salt as you want, depending on how tasty or how salty you like your chapatis to be. So some people do add sugar, and that's okay. For me, I don't add sugar because with the carrots, they already come with a natural sweetness. So for the chapatis, we'll need the pan, and for me I do use a wooden cooking spoon because I don't want to over scratch my pans. As you can see, I already have minor scratches on it. And then you'll need the oil, and of course you will need the chapati. So what you need to do is roll out the chapati. Roll it out and make sure that you roll it out in circular motion. So as you roll out the chapati, you'll notice that it gets stuck to the surface. Just sprinkle a little bit of flour to it, and just keep rolling. So as it gets bigger, it becomes easier. The first chapati is always the most challenging one to get the perfect shape that you want to. So you don't want to overpress it, because when you overpress it, what happens is the chapati becomes harder. So you have a great round chapati, and at that point you just put it in the pan. Don't oil it at this point. Just put it in the pan, and you can continue with rolling down the other chapati. So as you proceed with this, you pretty much just dry cook all of them. Pretty much just, it's like pre-cooking pretty much. So pre-cook them a little bit, and when they're done, all of them, when you're done like overheating all of them, that's when now you start oiling them. And normally, because I have 9 chapatis, I do in a set of 3. You will see in the latter process that I'll be cooking 3 chapatis and flipping around 3 chapatis at a time. You can do it one by one. I just I'm accustomed to pretty much cooking 3 chapatis at a time. So don't forget, as you're rolling, keep an eye on the one that you already put on the fire, and you can either use your hands or you can use the wooden spoon. Personally, I just flip it like that. So the spoon, I usually use it especially when we start adding the oil, because it becomes hot and you want to make sure that you're not actually burning yourself or your fingers at that point. So as you can see, the process is very fast. Just roll them into a circular shape. Then move the one that you put on the, as you can see, it's not really cooked. Move the one that you put on the fire and put the next one. So you do this continuous step for all of them. So I will just fast forward to the last ones and to the oiling process. Guys, so we're now in the final part of cooking the chapati. So those are the chapatis that I just pre-cooked a little bit. So at this point you just add a spoon of a small teaspoon of oil, and then just cook them. Again, you need your cooking spoon, and this is where I'll be putting the ones that are already done. So make sure you don't over tamper with them by either turning them all the time or just pressing them down all the time. Just put the oil, leave it. You can turn a little bit just to make sure that the oil is distributed evenly, but don't overturn it and pretty much tampering with the chapati by just doing the most with it. So once the side is cooked, turn it, and I forgot to put oil on that side, so you can always go back and add some oil. Be careful, because now these ones are hot because of the oil. And the reason why I normally cook 3 chapatis at a time is because you can easily get up to the second chapati, turn it over. This side is not cooked, it's not yet touched by the oil, so it's gonna be easy for you to flip around and to turn it. Yeah. So again, let it cook, and then when it's almost done, now this is the point where you're supposed to be adding oil to the top chapati, the one on top, because you have 3 of them. So pick it up and then turn it. See, that side is cooked. So from the cooked side, take the second chapati from the top and then turn it. The side that will be coming up on top will be uncooked side. You can turn your chapati just to make sure that the oil that you just put on the other side is evenly distributed. And get some oil on this side and turn it once again. So it's a very repetitive, easy but something that you have to pay attention to, because in the process of turning you can pretty much burn yourself. So make sure you're careful, buddy. It's so amazing. One of the things that I'm grateful I learned how to do before I moved from Kenya was to cook. Because when I have friends over, I always entertain by cooking. For me, the best thing I can offer my friends is my cultural foods. Give them a taste of what Kenyan food really is all about. The same thing, most of my friends are from different countries, so even whenever we visit, I get to sample foods from different cultures, different countries, and that's pretty much how you get to learn and appreciate the different cooking styles as well. As you guys can see, our chapati is forming a very beautiful orange with golden colors. So that's pretty much a chapati that has been very well cooked. So keep doing that until you're done for all your chapatis. And as you turn, you will realize you eventually get to the side that you cooked first. So that's the easiest way for you to know that you're done cooking all 3 chapatis. The last 3 chapatis. So those are the 3 last chapatis that you have. Once again, oil your pan with 1 tablespoon of oil and then place the chapatis. For our sauce, since we'll be making the shrimp sauce, we'll have various ingredients. So we will have the cilantro, and then we'll have some tomatoes, then we will have bell peppers. I really love the color of bell pepper, so I normally add 2 bell peppers, red one and yellow one, or sometimes I'll go for a red one and a green one, pretty much different colors. I do love my food color. And then we will have some onions, and then the shrimp that we already peeled, and over here we'll have the spices. So basically for the spices, I just did salt, turmeric, onion powder, and then chili flakes, and then I did garlic powder, paprika, and then a little bit of curry powder and thyme. So that's pretty much what we'll be adding to the sauce. So for different sauces, if I want it to be a little bit saucy, I'll add coconut cream to it. So this one here will just know, as we cook, we'll decide whether to add on coconut cream or to just leave it like that. The chapatis are done. Now it's time to do the shrimps, as well as we have some greens, some kale. So people back home call it sukuma wiki. Here we call it kale. So it's very important to have a balanced diet. So we're gonna be making the shrimp over here, and I'll be steaming the kale there. So for the kale, the only thing that I'll add to it is some garlic powder, onion powder, and salted butter. I won't add salt because the butter already has some salt. you guys for watching. It's been amazing bringing you to my kitchen. Amazing coconut shrimp with chapati and kale. So please subscribe and share, and feel free to leave us your comments. I would love some thoughts on how different your cookings are from ours, or what is it that you do differently or you would have done differently beside this. Thank you so much, and please subscribe to our channel, share this video, hit like, and leave us comments so that we know what you think. Thank you.